Bitcoin hoodie guy coming back with another Kaspa video. Can Kaspa hit $4.80? We're going to take a look at that. Before we get into it, could you please Mike Tyson the like and subscribe button? Always a lot of exciting stuff going on in crypto and Caspaville. We're still holding the number 23 spot. You can see we're up 2%. The overall market is up a little bit. Bitcoin going back to 58,000. You can see German government has liquidated all their Bitcoin. So Paperhand Portnoy, they're worse than Paperhand Portnoy. They're done. And so for me with Caspa, there's lots of new information always coming out, new technical developments that they're doing. So mainly I'm working, with what are my plans for next year to sell for the next potential top of a bull market, and what's my belief of the project in the future. So that's important for me, thinking what could the price be in the future, what could the project be in the future, dictates how much of my bag I'm going to keep. 5 or 10%, that could change. Maybe I have other projects to do better and I'm not looking to sell as much Caspa. And how much am I looking to sell and what price points would I look at? And so like the market dominance thing, really, if the market cap got up to 6 trillion, and what are we now, just like 2.14, so that's a little bit of 3x for the overall crypto market. That'd be a $6 trillion market cap. If Caspa could get up to 2% market dominance, which is about a 10x on its market dominance now. If you look now, Caspa's market dominance is just about right there, just at about 0.2%. So it'd have to do about a 10x on its market dominance and the market cap triple. I think that's pretty possible, but none of us know the future. A lot of people think that maybe we're going to 10 trillion, $15 trillion market cap. And I don't know. No one truly knows, even the smartest people. But someone's going to be right. So that's part of me, is figuring out a plan, and getting to $6 trillion market cap and a 2% market dominance it can go beyond that, both the market cap and maybe its market dominance. Probably not going to go over 4 or 5% market dominance on this one. And 2% market dominance would be good. Hash rate keeps climbing. I don't know. Maybe there's some more Bitcoin miners that are starting to throw a little bit of their hash rate. They're feeling the crunch with the halving, so they're not making as much money. And so there's also a big video that came out today. I haven't had a chance to dive into it too much. You probably saw that. There is basically the dev kind of their public meeting right here. You can see talking about smart contracts, ZK opcodes, other things like that. And I'll listen to it more tomorrow. I just had a chance to listen to a little bit, and hashtag was basically saying versus like smart contracts. His priority, he said right here in this clip, about 16 minutes into it, he said his priority is high blocks per second and DAG night. That's what his focus is. Today, earlier, I was talking about Casper bot. If you play around with the Casper bot, they will have a KSPR airdrop potentially if you use their Casper bot on Testnet 11. When I tried to mess around with the Testnet 11 and the Casper bot wallet, it wasn't working this morning, and it looks like they had a post there on X 4 hours ago, and it said that as promised, we wanted to address the issue occurred yesterday with the Testnet 11, which has affected usability of the Telegram bot on Testnet 11. The Kaspa Testnet 11 went down because the only miner processing all transactions experienced connection issues. When the single rig went offline, no transactions on the Testnet 11. This Testnet 11 went offline. As a result, the Explorer and Faucet went down as well. So they said that because of this, they are unaware of the issue, but once they became aware of it, they dedicated 4 of their mining rigs to process the Testnet 11 transactions, successfully restarting the network. So their commitment to prevent future issues will deploy more mining rigs next week to ensure Testnet 11 stability. So part of me for like thinking about my plans and stuff is, say, depending on where you came in to the project, no one went broke taking profit, but it's also trying to figure out what your belief in the project for the future is so that you don't completely fumble your bags. But as far as I knew, I thought Testnet 11 has just been going along for 5 or 6 months. just bulletproof, getting hammered with lots of transactions, and it's been resilient and stable. So the fact that I guess there was only one miner that was pointed at, there was only one miner right there that went offline. So then it made me just brought up, I was like, okay, has testnet 11 really been getting that much um, activity, and is the testing the last 5 or 6 months been that resilient? I don't know. But there's a lot of people working on it. You got a lot of big brains. Also, this video is good because you can see there's a lot of devs from all over, where people are trying to FUD and saying that they're all from Hebrew University or connected to Hebrew University or from one country. There's a lot of devs from all over and a lot of big brains working on this, and that stuff takes time. And right now on this market, if you're looking to take some out this market next year, whatever you think the market cap could get up to, market dominance, is that um, we don't know what technology is going to roll out right now. We're still waiting for kind of the Rust rewrite to be completely done. It's pretty much done. And then we're also, the KRC20 could take, more months than we think. And we don't know when 10 blocks per second exactly is coming out. I feel like that's the KRC20 is kind of in the near future. But we wanted to make sure they're coming out with everything right. And then also you want to make sure that everything's good to go, 10 blocks per second. But Jonathan, he really wants high blocks per second. So that's like one of his priorities. And there's a lot of other people working on other things like smart contracts. And he's still also thinking about smart contracts, but his priority is a high amount of blocks per second and Dagnite. So those are his priorities. There's also a lot of other people, and the KRC20 guys were basically built off partially signed Kaspa transactions, more similar to BRC20 or runes than the Ethereum ERC20s. So there's a lot of exciting stuff, and for me, I do think that is, I kind of thought maybe $2 or $3, but I also think that the overall market cap getting 6 trillion, and I can see it going above that. We don't know how much money is going to flow into Bitcoin, which will really set the ceiling for how high altcoins will go in. Plus, some people that made some money in Bitcoin, then they'll filter that down into altcoin for altcoin season. So this isn't for me to tell you what I think the price exactly is, more of an exercise. And I know some people don't like talking about price, but it's important to think about what's possible so that you can have some idea. So strategy, because you want to be trading on rationality, not emotions next year when the market's getting hot and heavy. And then also, it's good to research all these different things, and all the different devs and all the different technology they're working on. Because if it strengthens your belief in it, you might sell a smaller percentage of your bag. So it's important to stay on top of trying to kind of keep track of where the technology is heading, what's going on, any kind of mishaps. The KRC20 wasn't perfect. I think some of the issues were small, but it'd have been better if it would have came out and ran smoothly. The testnet 11 is just a testnet, but this is, stuff is happening, and you just pay attention to everything and strengthen your belief or figure out what you believe in long term. So maybe, who knows, maybe you're going to sell it all off. Maybe you live in a jurisdiction where you don't have to pay capital gains. I do, so I'm going to have to pay capital gains. And so if I really believe in something super long term, I want to keep a bag for it, and I probably don't want to sell it, because if I have to pay capital gains and say I have to pay 30% to 50% taxes on it, and then I'm going to wait for it to come back down on the bottom of the bear market, that might not make sense for me. Maybe you're in a jurisdiction with less taxes. Maybe it's long-term capital gains. And, plus you want to enjoy life a little bit too. You don't want to just always have your, your crypto and money on a screen, and you're not taking any profit to enjoy life. So I do think that that's kind of a realistic target. I've kind of been thinking the $2 to $3 range, but when you kind of crunch the numbers, and 6 trillion is pretty, and maybe it ends up somewhere at 8 trillion. I don't know. I mean, I've seen people that think it might go to 15 or 20 trillion, but I think 6 trillion is pretty reasonable, maybe 8 trillion. I don't know if it's going to get much higher than 10 trillion, to be honest with you, because I don't know if Bitcoin's going to get much higher than And that's, I see Bitcoin, if Bitcoin gets up to 200,000, then what's that, like 2.4 trillion? And if Bitcoin has 40% market dominance and it's at 4 trillion, then that would put the market cap up around 10 trillion. Now, if it had a one, or if it had a 2% market dominance, and that'd put it closer to $8 at a $10 trillion market cap. I do think that the market cap might be a little bit closer to 10 trillion. So then Kaspa would only need a little over 1% market dominance to get to $4.80. So it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. A lot of exciting stuff to keep track of. The growing hash rate. The devs are working on smart contracts. KRC20, and then 10 blocks per second, and hopefully someday 100 blocks per second. Dagnite. You got all these other devs working on Casper bot, Casper wallet, KRC20. So there's a lot of exciting stuff, and pretty soon this bull market's going to hit, and this next run up is probably going to be hot and heavy. So Caspa's geared in a good spot. Let me know what you think that the price could be next year. Thanks, Scottish Crypto. Thanks for tuning in. Well, that's all I got for today. Just a short little video, kind of an idea of where, if I think, I do think it'll get more to 10 trillion, and Kaspa just needs to get like a little over, if it got to 1.5%, just needs to get over 1% market dominance on a $10 trillion market cap, and that could get it around $4.80. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. A lot of exciting stuff. Stay bullish. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.